Hello friends, thanks for stopping by Dishing Out. This week, I'd like to talk about classic and iconic American foods. Of course, there's apple pie, hot dogs, mac and cheese, hamburgers, and the burrito. The burrito, you say? Yes, it is of course Latin and Hispanic in origin, but in 2018 it was the #1 most ordered item according to Grubhub. Surprising, I know. The most iconic American version of the burrito is the California burrito, one which takes influence both from American cuisine, Latin cuisine, and a little bit from Asia. It's got soy and citrus marinated skirt steak, French fries, and of course fresh guacamole, cheese, and salsa, all wrapped up in a warm flour tortilla. It's just about perfect. In fact, I'd say it is. Let's make one. Here's what we're going to need for the carne asada. I'm using skirt steak. You could use flank steak or sirloin flat meat if you wanted to, but skirt is traditional. Add about 1/3 cup of olive oil, about 1/4 cup of soy sauce into a bag or dish to marinate. Of course, some freshly cracked pepper and a pinch of salt. You don't need too much as the soy sauce has a lot of salt. About a teaspoon of honey. That's going to help get nice char marks on the grill later. About a teaspoon of cumin. And now just smash up 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. You don't need to really mince them that finely. They're just going to go into the marinade. Toss those in. Roughly chop 1 jalapeno. I'm leaving the seeds in. If you want to take the seeds out so you don't get much spice, that is fine. And finally, the juice of 1 lime and 1 orange. Once you've got all of your ingredients in the bag, go ahead and squeeze as much air out as possible and get it sealed up. And you want to marinate this for at least an hour, up to 6 to 8 hours in the fridge. Kind of toss it around every couple hours if you can, so that marinade coats all of the meat. Next up, we'll be making guacamole. So cut your avocado all the way around the pit, being careful not to cut yourself more than you already have. Once that's done, twist the sides in opposite directions and it should pop right open. And now just use a sharp knife and pop that pit. Twist it, and there you go. You'll do that with your second avocado and then use a spoon to just scoop out the flesh and get that into a bowl. Now, avocados will brown like before you can blink. So you want to get some kind of citrus in there. So I'm squeezing the juice of 1 lime in, as well as seasoning it with fresh cracked pepper and salt. Also a pinch of cumin, about 1/2 teaspoon. Go ahead and use a potato masher or fork and get those crushed up to your desired consistency. Again, all the exact ingredients and instructions will be available at dishingoutEats.com. To this, we're going to be adding 1 finely minced jalapeno, which I did take the seeds out of this time. Again, this is just you cooking, make it as spicy as you want. We're going to take about 1/8 to 1/5, I don't really know, a handful of red onions. It's going to come out to about 1/4 cup for this recipe. And get that into our mix. Quickly chop up some cilantro leaves. Hello, Anubis. And use a fork to kind of mash and mix all of that together till, again, it is the consistency that you desire. Cover that and set it aside. Finally, we're going to make a roasted tomatillo salsa. So we're going to take 4 tomatillos, take the leaves off, cut them in half, and then do the same thing to a jalapeno. Leaving the seeds in because I do want some kick in this salsa. Drizzle all of this with some olive oil and put it in a 425-degree oven until they are soft and a little bit blistered. Should take about 25 to 30 minutes. Get the juices as well as the tomatillos and the jalapeno into a blender. Add in 2 cloves of garlic. Nope, not that yet. Go ahead and take the tops off of 2 Roma tomatoes and just toss those in, along with a handful of cilantro. Pinch of salt, fresh cracked pepper, of course, and the juice of 1/2 of a lime. Now, if you don't want this to be as loose or as liquidy as this is going to come out, you can take the seeds and pulp out of those Roma tomatoes, but I want it to be relatively thin salsa, so I left them in, blend it up until it is the consistency you desire. That looks perfect for me. And I like the crunch and bite of the red onion raw, so I'm going to add that in now. And that is ready to go. let's get our meat out and prepare to cook it. Now you could do this in a cast iron skillet or on a grill pan indoors, but carne asada actually means grilled meat, so I'm gonna do it on the grill. A very hot one at that. Once your grill is preheated and hot, get your skirt steak on. This is only going to take a couple minutes before you want to turn it. It's going to probably take about 6 to 8 minutes in total, but turn it every minute or two. When you're dealing with heat this hot, you definitely don't want to leave it down for too long. You want to get nice color like that, but not for it to burn. Again, turning every 60 to 90 seconds. Now I'm poking and prodding at the meat here because it helps me know when it is done. The more firm it is, the more it springs back, the more done it is. I'm going to estimate this is about medium, which is perfect. I'm going to let our skirt steak rest for just a few minutes, and when it comes to cutting it, you'll notice the grain is very visible running this direction, and we want to cut against the grain. Perfectly done. And then go back across the other direction to cut it so that those are very tender. Now, in a warm burrito shell, add some cheese, that's a Mexican blend, a nice handful of steak, and a handful of freshly cooked frozen fries. I don't think I need to show you how to make those, do I? Top that with a generous dollop of our guac and a couple of generous spoonfuls of our fresh, warm salsa. And now it's time to roll. And if this doesn't get messy, then quite frankly, you just didn't put enough in the burrito. If a little bit comes out, that's all right. Just tuck the edges in, roll over, and let's get a cross section on this bad boy. Yeah, fries, meat, fresh salsa, guac. I have a feeling this is going to be pretty good. So just an FYI, I did sneak a little taste of the skirt steak off camera, and it definitely doesn't suck. But fries, cheese, guac, fresh salsa, and steak all together, we gotta make sure they work in harmony. You could definitely toast the outside of this if you wanted to, but I am too impatient, so I'm gonna add a little bit of extra salsa right here on my first bite and let you know how it is. Do French fries belong in a burrito? This is a resounding yes. I hope you'll give it a try this week and let us know what you think. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching, and until I see you again, go make something big, tasty, and delicious.